Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on my private practice Instagram, and I'm gonna walk you through what I plan on doing to rebuild this page. Hey, my name is Shauna A., licensed clinical mental health counselor. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm really excited to share with you that I have made a big decision when it comes to my private practice. So one of the big things for me is that I have been floating around this idea when it comes to my private practice. I've put it on the back burner before in years past, and this year I really intend on moving forward with it. So I've given myself 122 days. So that's between now and December 31st. And the plan is to do this slowly with intentional tasks to make this run as smoothly as I possibly can. Now, I know for me, one of the things that are important is reaching the people that need this information. And I want to do it in a multitude of ways. So again, not just social media, although that's what I'll be showing you today, but also writing good blogs and creating other pieces of content that people can access that would be helpful to them. I know for a lot of therapists, they come back to social media quite often. They want to create content, but they're not quite sure what to do with it, or it just seems really overwhelming or pointless. Plus, with the time that they have, they don't want for something that seems pointless or something that doesn't have a big return to take up all of their time. So one of my goals is to help clinicians minimize the amount of time that they're putting into these resources, but also create quality content that helps them move forward. So let's go ahead and take a look at my current Instagram page for my content. I'm going to show you exactly where I know I've went wrong and where I'm going to spice it up, bring it back to life, and really share good, valuable information. Here it is. That's me. I'm the Delightful Counselor. I go by Shauna A., and I put my credentials in here. I know that I can come back in here and really spice up this bio to really reflect what I wanted to say. I do have a bio site connected to this. If we clicked on my bio site, this is what it looks like. So I've got a coloring book in here. I've got a consultation booking. I've got something for the travel business that I do. And then I have Delightful Counseling Services. So this bio site I will need to clean up as well. One of the things that I'm going to do is probably pull out this and put this back over on the other side with my consultation services. Now, I'm going to go back to the Instagram page back over here. I have not utilized this stories here before, and I've said this and I just have always fallen off when it comes to the Instagram. So I think something that's really important is recognizing that you can fall off when it comes to this particular information and recognizing who you are and how you engage in content. So if this is something that I'm going to let go or not keep up with, I need it to be fairly static. So what I will do is put like the typical disclaimer up here. I would probably put things that I want people to absolutely have that doesn't have to change often. And in order for this to work, I'm going to have to start utilizing my stories, which is a fairly easy way to engage with this content. I also know for someone like me who's often very busy, who kind of gets lost when it comes to creating content, I think it is super important for me to make sure that I am batching content and that whenever I'm carrying something over, that it makes sense for this application. So as you can see here, you could just tell that I haven't really kept up with this because look at this video. My hair is way shorter here and I'm wearing long sleeves. This is from months ago, March it looks like. So obviously I need to bring the page up to date by including more content and really engaging with the app. This is from something that was a while ago too. So I just need to bring up more relevant information. That's another way that I'm going to be fixing up this profile, is just bringing it up to date. I did have a lot of content on here, or a couple of pieces of content here for a good while. Content from a while ago, this can all be repurposed and brought up to date. I think this is a great time to bring up the relaunch of my content bank for therapists. In the upgraded content bank for therapists, what you will see is a GPT that helps you to repurpose your content in a way that it can live on social media. It can be a blog. It could be even a YouTube video. So what I'm going to do is plug in some of that information into that GPT so that you all can see what that looks like in another. So what I will do in another post is plug in that information so you all can see what that looks like. But this all is really great. This all can be repurposed and reused. I don't have to reinvent the wheel when I already have an existing piece of content. I just have to go ahead and just pull it back and bring it up to date. Another thing that I think is going to be really good for me, since again, like I said, I am often busy, I have a lot of stuff going on, is creating B-roll content and utilizing that B-roll content here, and also going ahead and batching that content so that once I post it, I don't have to think about it. There's a couple of tools that I'm going to use to help me batch my content. One, it's going to be my content bank. The other tool that will help me is Metricool, which is a way that you can schedule and post your content. You can also schedule directly on Instagram if you want to as well, especially if there is something that you want to use within the app. I think for things like carousels or things that I want to have music, I'm going to just schedule that in app so that I have the ability to use the full function of the app and get the most out of it. I've got batching, and I'm going to use Metricool to bring all of this back up to date. And because I will want to collect emails at one point in time, I will introduce ManyChats. I'm just going to use the basic version of ManyChats just to add one next element, because I do want for the audience to get to moving in here. I have some call to actions that I can use when it comes to the link in the bio, but you also have to be mindful about how you're using that, because again, the apps don't like it when you're directing people to off the app, and your link in your bio is going to be directing it off the app. So the big thing that you need to know here when it comes to you creating content is that your content approach should be about value. Once upon a time, value was educational, entertaining, and inspirational. And that is still relatively the same, but how we go about providing that value is slightly different. A lot of these algorithms now are really more about interest, and that means that you'll have to know more about your client to direct information that is interesting to them, that also engages them within the content so that they can see themselves within the story that you are creating. Now, like I've said, I've started this many times. And so I'm really excited to really get in and utilize the resources that I have to update this. If you're already on my email list, you're going to see this 122-day journey. I will for sure continue to venture along. If you're not on the email list and you would like to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the list so that you can see this 122 journey and so much more, like the relaunch of that content bank. Until next time, bye for now.